Okay, so I guess it is quite visible at the moment. I'm going to put a bit a little bigger as soon as we get started. And I'm going to use, so let me see, I may be able to use, which is the best. And I guess that I lost the connection to my, yeah, so I lost the connection to my computer, so I need to reconnect this one to my computer. Bit of a painful business, I must admit that. So QR code is needed again. No, it's not providing the QR code anymore. Settings here. Okay, so Simple again is I'm not, yeah, I know what is happening. So this iPad is no longer connected to Wi-Fi. And why I'm not connected to Wi-Fi is that this, for some weird reason, this particular lecture room is the worst lecture room in the sense that it's always kicking me off from the other room. When that happens, I always need to reconnect my iPad, and all that is annoying business. It slows us down quite a bit. But hopefully this will be, okay, we'll see. Too early to say anything. But now I'm finally connected, and I'm ready to introduce my slides. And this is the kind of the wheel that I would like to share with you, and hope this is clear enough for those ones that are sitting in the back. Is it all right? Clear enough. So let me put this in the middle. Okay. So now this is official start. And as you can hear, I'm a little bit under the weather. So I got the flu during this holiday season. I'm still kind of recovering from that. So it's possible that today's lecture will be shorter than usually. Shorter than usually? Well, usually we have 2 hours lectures every Mondays. But we'll see. Maybe it's going to be today a little less than that. And I would like to get started by giving you a congratulations. Good choice. Like I explained, this is a course that we're actually looking ways that we could do with the simulation theory. And I believe that, if you learn the theory but not knowing what to do with the theory, that's, one perspective is a little bit of waste of time and effort. Now here we're going to look where we can actually apply the simulation theory that we learned from the previous course. That was the one that was organized in the period number 1 and 2. And we look at that in a perspective that we also look things in a previous course. So we're going to look like, okay, how is it we can simulate machines? Machines that we call, well, mechatronic machines or modern machines. And modern machines, we have components that are coupled together. So there are components related to mechanics. So there are steel structures, frames, lift booms and stuff like that. And those are actuated by different kind of means of actuations. And these different kind of means of actuators are hydraulic actuators, pneumatic, electric drives, you name it. But the important thing is that those things are coupled. And if they are coupled in a real machine, we need to couple them and also in a simulation model. That's exactly what we're going to do in this course. Then we're going to look closely, how is it we can model the control system? That, by the way, was an item that we did not discuss in our previous course at all. And then a little bit about the user. That will be a real-time simulation. Connection out again. Okay, so what I'm going to do then is that I'm not going to use not going to use my iPad, but instead I'm going to use my screen capturing system. And in my screen capturing system, I'm simply going to use, hold on, where is my F5 here? Here. Is still someone checking out how is the streaming? Is it the streaming looking all right like this, or should I make it like that? I don't wanna. Okay, on this mode, I'm not sure what goes out. Is it going to be this view or the view that I'm seeing here? That's a little bit unclear. because the view that I'm seeing here is a presentation mode. And in the presentation mode, there are like 2 slides. Yeah, that's the presentation mode. So that's not very good for you. We'll see. Okay. Well, I guess that we just have to use this mode. Now the slides are a little bit small, but I hope that they are still understandable. I hope that this is the first lecture that we are experiencing all the technical difficulties. And whenever we're getting back to this lecture, which will be next Monday, everything will be smooth and nice. That's what I hope. And that's what will not happen. Because remember, in a simulation of a mechatronic machine, there was quite a bit of technical difficulties. And I don't know why that is. Is that because of the AirPlay? That's the thing that I'm using, or this is the software that I'm using to combine my iPad to my computer. Maybe it's that, maybe it's OBS that I'm using to stream out this to YouTube, or I don't know, we'll see. But I'm learning, I'm still learning this YouTube business, and you have to remember that I started my YouTube business just a few months back. So I'm not that experienced user yet. But anyways, so we're gonna look at this picture very carefully in this course, more carefully than we did in a simulation of a mechatronic machine. I'm more like, okay, what is that we can do things in industrial scale, not only in an academic sense, but also industrial scale, meaning that we're gonna look like how is that we can build the models in a fast way, and how is that we can actually make a lot of emphasis to interpret the results. That's what is extremely important for us. Okay, then my name is Aki Mikkola. I will be your lecturer, so I will be the one that is delivering most of the lectures. Not all the lectures, but most of the lectures. And I'm going to work together with Jarkko Rahikainen. He's going to be your teaching assistant. And you're going to be teaching assistant not this week, but next week. So the first guided tutorial will be available on next Tuesday. So the guided tutorials will be always on Tuesdays. Correct. Correct. Is that so? Because I haven't checked the schedule in details. Have you actually? Is it on Tuesdays or some other day?
Tuesday.
Tuesday. Okay. So next Tuesday you will meet Jarkko Rahikainen. So he's the guy that will organize all the guided tutorials. So if you want to reach me, the best way to do that is by sending me an email, or you can also stop by my office, which is located in a building number 6, 7th floor, which is the top floor, and the number of my office is 6729. So it's building number 6. But please send me an email. That's I usually make the promise that I respond within the 24 hours. Usually able to do that, I'm able to keep that promise. So if you send me an email, I respond one way or another within 24 hours. One way or another, maybe that your question is so difficult that I need to really study this in details, takes more time than 24 hours, and I will get back to you a little later. It's one possibility. But I usually wanted to respond as soon as possible. Jarkko, you can also reach by email, and Jarkko's email address is written down here. So jarkko.rahikainen@lut.fi. Okay. Now, what is that we do in this course? What are the objectives of this course? What is the reason to be in this lecture? Well, there are many reasons. And, few items mentioned first are related to theories. So still, even though that I mentioned that, now this time we're going to look like how is that we can apply the theories in practice. We're still going to learn a little more theories. We're going to kind of extend our knowledge, and we're going to extend our knowledge to 2 different directions. So first of all, we're going to extend our knowledge to spatial bodies, 3-dimensional bodies. Why is that? Well, that's because I kind of believe that be able to express kinematics in 3 dimensions is kind of like basic knowledge of engineering. So that's why we want to do that, or I want to do that. I wanted you to learn that. And we're going to look like how are the orientations in 3-dimensional space. That's the business that you already know a little bit. But we get back to that, and I'm going to explain more thorough manner how is an orientation and how is a rotations in three-dimensional space. And well, hopefully even today, I'm hopefully able to refresh your mind about Euler angles, and that's the method you learned already. But we are not going to stop there. But we're going to look at the methods that are based on quaternions, that are based on 4 parameters. We're going to look like how is that possible to use 4 parameters to describe body orientation in three-dimensional space. Then a little bit about flexible bodies. So we're going to combine finite Tillman method to multi-body system dynamics. You have already a good solid background in multi-body dynamics, but now we're going to just take the finite Tillman method. We're going to see how is it we can combine these 2 methods together. And that is something that I really wanted to do in a thorough way. And even though that you may not like this, but I'm still planning to explain you something about finite Tillman method. And I know that there are courses like finite Tillman method. Oh, I don't know what those courses are entitled. Are they like basics of finite Tillman method, or what is the title of the courses that you learn finite Tillman method?
Machine dynamics.
Machine dynamics. Yeah, machine dynamics is quite advanced course about finite Tillman method. But they are like basic courses where you learn like how are the polynomials, how is the polynomial expansions and such. But I don't know what they are called. What are the titles of these courses? Have you ever taken these courses, or no, not really?
We have two courses, but I don't remember the name. It's something like basics of finite element methodology.
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that.
So even though that you have the basics of the finite Tillman method, I'm still gonna spend maybe an hour or 2 about basics of finite Tillman method. Why is that? That's because then we're gonna start finally using something that is called model reduction. And I would like you to have a full picture about what are these different methods and what are the different spaces we're jumping between. And that's why the basics of finite Tillman method is actually very critical. And that's what I'm planning to do in this course too. Then, those are the theoretical aspects. Then, what are the really like more practical aspects? Then the most important thing is that I would like you to understand a little bit about the relation of simulation models and reality. That's something that is very difficult. It takes years to learn details and to be able to apply it in a practical engineering. But still, we will open this topic. We're gonna, I don't know if we're gonna discuss about that, but at least I will discuss about the topic. We're gonna look at it in a different perspective. Then, something that is my favorite, we're gonna learn critical thinking against computer simulation. Yes, against computer simulation. Even though that I'm an advocate of the computer simulation, we still need to speak about this extremely important topic, which is thinking against computer simulation. And why we want to do that? Well, basically that's the reason is that people that are using computer simulation extensively, they can easily get this disease that is called simulation disease. It's a medical condition that is quite severe medical condition. What that means? It means that you're losing the common sense. I mean that you only trust the computer simulation and nothing else. And all you do is a computer simulation, nothing else. And I will show you some good examples. What is how are the symptoms of this simulation disease, and how would that look in a medical perspective? But I want you not to get this disease. And this disease is something that I would like you still to be able to use a common sensing. I would like you to use other methods and test the simulation. And if there is a simple assignment for you, don't only use a simulation, use just a pen and paper. Often the different simulation approaches. But there is a lot of different approaches. The common ones that you already are familiar with is a finite Tillman method. What are the limitations of finite Tillman method in structural analysis sense, where it can be used and where it's difficult to use? We're going to learn that. We're going to learn about how is that relation to multi-body system dynamics, a little bit about CFD analysis, then what is that we can do with different kind of control simulation schemes, and how is that we can model the hydraulics in a different way. So we basically looking at different commercial software approaches, look like how is that they can be used to analyze different kind of problems. This too is important because soon you're gonna get your degree, your master degree, and then you're gonna leave from the university, and it takes just a little while, and you will be a big shot boss in one of these companies in Finland or in someplace else, and then you actually, organizing a different kind of big project. And as a part of the project, you may be able to get some engineering help from different kind of companies. And often you need help from consulting companies that are specialized to say finite element modeling or multi-body modeling or something else. You're the one that is controlling the big picture. And then in that big picture, you have to understand what exactly these people can do with these tools and software that they are providing to you. You're the one that is, organizing the whole deal. That's why I would like you to almost like to see the big picture. These are the different methods. This is how you can use it. This is where you should not use them. Even though that these consultants, they always say that we can solve whatever you want to be solved. But again, this is a little bit about critical thinking against computer simulation. And then a little bit about what are the modern simulation approaches, vehicle modeling, contact modeling, finite element method, stuff like that. We're going to look at that too. Those will be, say, semi-theoretical way we can look at it. Just to give you an example, the contact modeling, there will be, a little bit about different approaches using a contact modeling. But we are not going to step very much in details in that area. But something that you can see, oh yeah, there's another method, so just a common penalty force approach to compute the contacts and collisions. Okay, so then that's it. What we're going to discuss about the objectives. Is the objectives clear? You guys had enough already. Okay, so objective, is that clear? Pretty much. Yeah, so what do you say if we take this own language in our use again? The own language we developed in the previous course. Remember that? So the own communication mean was that this means that yes, go ahead, I learned the whole thing, so just I don't care to listen anymore. This is I have no idea, and this is thing like I don't know by myself. Okay, what is that you say? Is it like this? Clear. Okay. It's also, you know that it is allowed to say here something if you want. But, yes, clear. Okay, let's move on. I know that's a little slow, but I will speed up in a minute. Okay, so the contents. So there will be one simulation assignment, which is a little bit of old-fashioned thing. I know that it's been in assignment already quite a while, but at the moment we are designing improvements for this, but you're not able to enjoy that. So this will be, this particular simulation model will be your assignment, your assignment this class. And this assignment is to model the hydraulic determinant crane that this lift arm will be flexible by. And what you need to do is that you need to describe the hydraulics that is associated to this one hydraulic cylinder. There will be a pump, there will be a direction valve, there will be a, well, that's pretty much it. So those are the few components that are associated to this hydraulic cylinder, and it is connected to this lift arm, and then we're going to load the lift arm with the different kind of masses. And then it's going to introduce quite a bit of deformation, and because of the quite a bit of deformation, you must model this component that is blue in the color as a flexible body. So this just shows a little bit about the animation, how it works. So you need to lift it up, stop it. As you see, as soon as you stop the motion, it's vibrate a bit, and then you need to put it down. And the emphasis here is to try to interpret the results. So you need to model this flexible mechanism, you need to verify it, and we have some measured information available. So you need to compare your simulated results against the measured one, and then to make all necessary tunings if there is a need to do tunings. and then you need to design the control algorithm to this simulation model, and the control algorithm will be designed by using the Simulink software. And now, if there is simultaneously a course that is related to control engineering, so if you take a course about, well, I don't know, if you do have a course about the control engineering this very same time, you don't. Okay, you do this or you're not listening to me, or so now is the time that you ask, you say you do this or this. And my question again is that you have a course related to control engineering in this period or not? You don't. Okay. None of you have a course about control engineering.
We had it in previous semester.
Previous semester?
Yeah.
Well, too bad. Okay, that's all right.
We also have a practical motion and control course.
You have it this very same time.
Yeah.
Okay, so my recommendation is this.
But I'm not sure about what kind of course that is, but it sounds
Because,
like.
yeah, because this is the first day of the semester, so of course you don't know it. But my recommendation is this. Don't mention about this course or this other course. But instead, just say that, okay, I'm really very good in the multi-body dynamics, and I can create the model of, say, a hydraulic driven crane. So can I use that as a case example in your course? I mean, this control engineering course. And in my course, you can mention that you are part of the control engineering course, and you say that, I'm really much into the control engineering, and I'm wondering if we can introduce a fuzzy control system to this particular crane. We're like, oh, really? Can you do that? And say, yes, I can do that. So you can combine two courses, and you can get the quick trainings from this course, and also from the control engineering course. Do that, please. That will be very good. And even if you mention that, that will make no effect to your training. So, but this is an opportunity to combine two different courses together. Because here we're actually going to look at like, how is it we can build the control algorithm to make this like automated machines of data. And instructions will be provided in details, so no need to be worried at this time. But this is going to be your simulation assignment. And this is the content. So we have a total of 12 weeks lectures. So we get started today, which is week number 2. So today is introduction, a little bit about three-dimensional multi-body dynamics. Then next week we're going to continue about the multi-body dynamics. Then we're going to move on to flexible multi-body dynamics, finite element method. This is the thing that I mentioned, that is that theoretical stuff. So it's about shape functions, accuracy of the finite element method, equations of motion, stuff like that. So why I do that? Simply because I want to make sure that you understand the fundamentals about the finite element method. That, partly because, my background is heavily in finite element method, so I want to show off that I'm very good in that method. That's another reason. But anyway, so that's what's going to happen in week 5. Then we're going to look something that is eigenvalue analysis, which kind of combines this course to Dr. Sopanin's course, which was machine dynamics. In machine dynamics, they speak all about modal spaces. Not nodal spaces, but modal spaces. And what is this thing like? Well, how is it we can turn from one space to another space? That I will explain when we look at the eigenvalue analysis, and particularly when we look at the modal reduction techniques. So those are the techniques that makes these very large finite element method models to be very, small. We're going to lose a little bit of accuracy, but how we can do the trick, that I will explain you in week 6. And then week 7, it's going to be more about modal reduction technique. Week 8, there is going to be no lectures whatsoever. Then there's a visiting lecture at week 10, which is Arjen Schwab. So he's a professor from Delft University. He's going to be here to explain to you about vehicle modeling. So it's about all kinds of vehicles, rail vehicles, passenger cars, trucks, bicycles, motorcycles. These are all the vehicles. Ships, not included in that lecture, but those, he's, by the way, he is a bicycle specialist. And I don't know what are the details in his lecture, but he's going to be here to explain you about how you can use the multi-body system dynamics in vehicle applications. Then there's going to be a topic related to fatigue, And then there's another visiting lecture which is about the biomechanics. How is it you can use all this knowledge about the biomechanics, and then there's a K-ification, which this lecture comes from the business department. So they're looking at, okay, what about this K-ification concept, how is it we can use that? And again, theoretical stuff, which is a description of large deformation and contact model. There may be even more than 3 visiting lectures, but at least 2 visiting lectures this year. And these visiting lectures are usually very good. You know, these are the guys, particularly design as well. He's very good, and you're gonna enjoy big time when you're following his lectures. Okay, clear. So let's move on. So this is a tutorials. So even though that is mentioned this week, it's not going to get started this week, but it's get started week 3. And then we're going to get started from the SolidWorks atoms relation. Then there's a little bit about hydraulics. There's going to be meat report. What is that? That I will explain to you in a second. Then a bit more hydraulics, flexible bodies. Then control algorithm, verification of the control algorithm, and reporting. Though those are the topics in tutorials, and here are the gradings. So here are the final, here is a very important equation you must memorize. So this tells you how is that you can get the grade from the course. So the mandatory items are accepted simulation work. So must be acceptable level, accept the written examination or 2 meet examinations. Of course, my recommendation is 2 meet examinations. So midterm examinations are much easier than the full exam. And why is that? Well, that's simply because, you know, the midterm exam only covers 6 weeks. Full exam covers 12 weeks. So that's what makes it more easier to pass. And again, it goes a bit the same way that in a simulation of a mechatronic machine, as the first midterm exam is more difficult than the second. Second is pretty much about visiting lectures, and these visiting lectures, they're kind of pleasant people, and they are not introducing anything too difficult for you. Okay, so the final grade goes such the way that simulation work plus written examination divided by 2, and written examination and simulation work are both graded from 0 to 5. Now, when, say hypothetically, you will get 4 out of the written exam, 5 out of the simulation work, you get a total of 9 points divided by 2, that's going to be 4.5. So it will be rounded up, so it's going to be 5. And then it's possible to get 1 extra 0.5 points from in-class quizzes, so that means 5.5, which is going to round it up, so it's going to be 6 out of 5. Which of course, again, will not happen because, you know, the maximum grading here is a 5 out of 5. But in theory, you can score 6 out of 5. But the maximum that I'm going to send to Student Affairs Office will be 5 out of 5. But that's how it goes. Is this clear? Like, mandatory items, again, you must do simulation work, and you can do that by simply participating in the current tutorials. There's going to be Jarkko that will help you to accomplish all these simulation assignments. And then there is this written examination, and the written examination is written examination. So it's not going to be online exam this course, but it's like, you know, have you ever heard this thing about pen and paper? Yes, it's about that. Classic, conventional way, classic way, pen and paper. And then an in-class quizzes. Well, the in-class quizzes is business as usual. So, so we're going to use Socrative in this class too. And if you're entering your answers to Socrative, you can get a little bit extra points. How that goes, I will have the details in the next slide. Tutorial, stay tuned. More information will be available soon. I don't know, Kasim, no. So they can follow this. All right, so then, yeah, no mandatory participation. So if you're busy, that's it. And please don't let me know that you're busy. So don't send me an email and say, okay, so I'd like to participate in your course, but I just have to do something else. You just do something else. You're the one that will face the consequences. And the consequences, worst possible consequences, is that you fail the course. Not more than that. So it's not gonna, matter of living or dying. A bit living or dying, but not more serious than that. Okay, so that's it. In-class quizzes, a total of 25 points. We will get started today. And to enter your answers, you have to install the Socrative. And Socrative, you know what's that Socrative, so hopefully you have it already in your iPad or your phone. And so if you're gonna get 14 points out of the maximum 25, then I will provide this extra 0.5 to you. So this is simply the one way to upgrade your final grading. So you do the in-class quizzes, you automatically, more or less automatically, you will get one additional point to your final grading. Because it was a worth of 0.5, 0.5 we always rounding up. So that's what it means. Okay, so MIG report or the simulation assignment, all MIG reports must submit successfully. If you're gonna submit these late, we're gonna penalize your bid. And we're gonna penalize you such the way that we're gonna take 0.5 points out of your grade of the simulation work. Not from the entire course, but part that is related to simulation work. Rough? Good? No comment?
What about the final feedback? Is the effect?
Yeah, that I don't know. This final feedback is, honestly, I have no idea. Because this is, so why I have no idea is that I'm ready to submit the results from this previous course, Simulation of Mechatronic Machine. The grading is ready in my computer. I could show it for you, but I cannot submit that to Student Affairs Office because I'm still waiting who are the people that actually provide the feedback. And this is something that I don't know. I'm gonna submit these results to Student Affairs Office this week if I hear nothing about the feedback session. But the feedback, I believe that is organized by Student Union. Correct. The Student Union, I guess that there's a bit miscommunication between the department and the Student Union. I guess that, because I'm not sure, have you made the evaluation of my previous course already? You did? When is it you did that? Was it before the Christmas or just
Before the Christmas.
Before the Christmas? Was there a particular deadline for that?
They didn't mention.
They did? Oh, okay, so they did not mention.
I think it's the 13th of January.
13th of January. So that's next week, isn't it? I think it is next week. 13th is, no, that's Sunday. Yeah, that's Sunday, this week Sunday. Okay, but I don't know about this feedback. If there is a possibility to provide the feedback, then I will give you some extra points and those will be affect to these in-class quizzes. Now, don't mix this feedback to something else because, in a Moodle site, which is available for this course, there's a section that is called instant feedback. Instant feedback is different than feedback. How they are different? Well, they are different in the sense that instant feedback goes only to my knowledge. This feedback goes everyone else except my knowledge. It goes in, the department head, then the curriculum head, and then eventually sometimes, I don't know, end of the year or sometimes like that, I will finally get the report, how was my course. But there is a major delay. Instant feedback is something that you submit your feedback today, I will see it later today. So that's why it is called instant feedback. The reason that I'm using the instant feedback is that if you feel that there is something seriously wrong in this class, something seriously wrong, like hypothetically, Jarkko is no good teacher, or hypothetically, Aki is no good teacher, you are fed up with the stories, you don't like the jokes, technically incorrect, is unclear, everything is wrong, you can type it. such the way that I cannot see who actually sent that information, you can type that, okay, this course, topic-wise or the subject matter would be outstanding, but the teacher is no good. You can do it. Then I can read it and if you can tell like why no good, then I can improve it immediately. So this is the way to communicate. Because otherwise, as you know, we don't communicate. I mean, other than that, but other than this, it's hard to make like complicated sentences. So that's why we have alternative means of communication. So we have a number of alternative ways of communication. So we have this, this, then we have the modal, this instant feedback. What else? That's about it. Yeah, these, when we see, here in the university corridors, is this. We always use this. You don't know what it is, but I will explain this a little later today. This is how we say hello. Actually, we don't say this like hello, we say in the same gang. True gangsters. All right, so we'll get back to that a little later. Okay, so then, so these are the deadlines for MIG reports, but Jarkko will get back to this a little later. Then previous knowledge, simulation of mechatronic machines tutorials accepted. This is what is recommended. And all except you have already did that. So you are exchange students, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so, but other than you, this is all, you have all made the tutorials in the simulation of mechatronic machine. Okay, there have been cases previous years that there is a student coming directly this class without participating this course, and it's possible, it's doable, but it's going to be hard. Because these people, you look around, these people are on topic, like, okay, what is Lagrange multipliers? Immediately will tell me, because they have very good knowledge about the previous course. You don't have that, so you need to fight. So you need to work hard, you need to make this happen. It's going to be a bit painful, a little bit of rocky road, but doable. And we'll see. And if after a few weeks, if you say that, oh please, this is not my thing, then you can skip. No hard feelings. So, we'll see. Literature, so the PowerPoints and other material is available in the Moodle database. So then there's Ahmed Shabana's book, so we can use his book a bit, but that book is more intended for doctoral level students, not too much about master level students. So it's a bit too difficult to follow, so I recommend to use my lecture note. But the lecture note, the first part is already available in the Moodle side, so take a look. Okay, so then I noticed that it's already 3:05, so should we have a break? Short break, and then say like a few minutes, and I will try to recover my iPad, and then after break we come back and look at a little bit about the introduction material, and then we're going to jump to three-dimensional multibody. Now it's your turn to, yes? Yes? Very good, very good. So look at that. So we almost in the, it's becoming more and more friendly all the time. So you will be surprised. Soon you will jump up and you will give me a hug, and then you will go back. And they will be yelling. You guys say, no, Aki, no, that's not true. This is not true. And this is going to be like serious arguments. We'll see. Okay. I will stop the streaming